All right, we are live. What's going on, peeps? And welcome to the live video. This is your host, D Lens Reacts, and I have Jay the Professor right here. And we got a nice little show for you. So, today's topics we are going to talk about red pill content, what it is, what it means, some of the definitions, because people associate a lot of things with red pill that are not necessarily red pill. So we're going to kind of break down exactly what red pill and incels and blue pill and alpha males and beta males and all these terms and misogyny and misandry and all these terms that people love to use, and they use them a little bit recklessly. So I'm going to pull up some documentation to try to pull all of this together. I may be successful, I may not, I don't know. But what we're going to do is we're just going to have a general discussion on this topic. And then before that, that's the main topic. But before that, we're going to get into just toxic relationships and the signs of them. And the first person we're going to talk about, there is an NFL player named Xavier Worthy on my current favorite team, the Kansas City Chiefs. He is a rookie that was drafted to be a wide receiver, really to be a replacement for Tyreek Hill, low key. And the guy broke the record at the combine for the 40-yard dash. And he's extremely explosive. But he was a rookie. He played well, but I expect him to really level up. But unfortunately, a lot of these guys, these young guys, especially our people, unfortunately, they get in these relationships and they deal with these women, and it just becomes their downfall. So today, before we get into red pill conversations, we're going to talk about his situation and other conversations and topics. So Jay, what do you, before we dive into my man Xavier, anything you want to say before I get into these clips? I got a few clips I want to play.
Yeah, real quick, guys. You know, this is a continuous trend amongst professional athletes. They get married real young, where when you're at a particular age, you really don't know much. So this is gonna be an interesting episode. We're really gonna dive in and show you guys what we're about to talk about as far as that specific relationship, that specific situation, and a player of his magnitude. Um, with a lot of upside, a lot of potential. It's actually quite disappointing as he ended the situation. But I'm also glad he's going through it early versus him going through it later on when he's 29, 30 in his later years in his career. So, it's a blessing in disguise that he's experiencing this now. Hopefully he'll learn from it, but I doubt it.
Yeah, I mean, and there's nothing wrong with getting married young early. However, it's what's wrong is the type of people a lot of these guys, especially these young black athletes, are choosing. That is the
Young
problem.
black athletes, because we
It's
don't hear
nothing
that.
wrong. It is nothing wrong with getting married young early. I know people my age that got married in their 20s and they're still together, many years later and still thriving and have not killed each other yet. And they seem happy. So, or at least they understand and they are partners. It's not about happiness, it's about partnership. So, all right, let's dive in
Let's go.
to
Ooh, I've been
Xavier.
waiting for this episode, y'all. Y'all have no idea.
The fact that you say that is hilarious.
I'm so serious. I just look
Oh,
forward to this.
I totally believe you. All right.
Yeah.
So here is just a screenshot of Xavier Worthy hit a 4.21 at 40-yard dash last year. That dude was not playing any kind of games.
Oh my God. Look at his start. Oh my, look at his drive. That's picture perfect right there.
And the funny part is he slowed down at 40. If you look at this,
Yeah.
he started pulling back right here.
Right there. Yeah, he slowed down a little bit.
Yeah, he probably could have broke 4.2. That's crazy. That's crazy work.
4.19, if anything.
Yeah, that boy. Hey, crazy work. So
He's
congratulations to him. He got drafted. But unfortunately, this happened on March 8th. Xavier Worthy arrested on felony domestic violence charge. Kansas City Chiefs wideout Xavier Worthy was arrested Friday in Williamson County, Texas, on a charge of assault of a family or house member by impeding the breathing or circulation. In other words, he choked her out. That's what was saying. Thanks, Nico. If you've joined us, hit that like button for me. I greatly appreciate it. And let us know that you are here. Worthy, 21, was booked into jail on Friday night by the Williamson County Police Sheriff's Office. Online records did not have the details of the arrest for the player, who had not posted bond as of early Saturday afternoon. So dude was in jail overnight and into Saturday afternoon. The chief said they were aware of Worthy's arrest and gathered information. And you know, what this really turned into was his girlfriend / fiance called the people on him, and they came and picked them up. Here is the Twitter post. Chiefs wide receiver Xavier Worthy was assaulting Tia Jones by impeding her breathing. Again, that's just choking her out. This is Miss Tia. Of course, she's a baddie. He's a pro player, so there's no surprise here. So let's act like we've never seen a pro player with an attractive woman before. But this is his mugshot. Notice there's a couple things missing from Xavier Henry when we look Worthy. Sorry, when we saw him over here, he looked one way. But then when we see him here, he looks a little bit different because he's missing a couple things. Here is the booking record and assault, family, house, MP, breathing, circulation. So 5'11", 169. Not the biggest dude, but he's a baller. However, fortunately, he has lawyers. We are aware of the allegation that led to Mr. Worthy's arrest. We are working with law enforcement to ensure that they have the benefit of the totality of the circumstances that led to this allegation. The complaint was recently asked, the complainant was recently asked to vacate Mr. Worthy's residence upon discovery of her infidelity. She has refused to do so and made a number of exhortive efforts prior to resorting to this baseless allegations against Mr. Worthy. We will continue to cooperate, blah, blah, blah. So basically, she lied. That's what the lawyers are saying. And now we're going to go. Before this, we're going to pause right there. So basically, what this document is saying is that his representation is saying that she cheated, she tore some stuff up, and he put her out, and she wouldn't leave. And so because she got upset because he basically probably threw her out on her, made her homeless, she got upset and called the police on him. That's really the gist of this entire story.
Yep. That tends to typically happen. And to be quite honest with you all, like, a lot of women don't take rejection in that matter well, and she didn't want to believe it because she was like, oh, I lost the prize. Oh my God. It's like, he ain't going to get away with it. I'm going to try to ruin his life just so I can look good or validate how I already feel, whatever. So it's just unfortunate, man. Guy of his potential, you can tell he's a pretty good dude, but just with the wrong woman. She's the wrong woman.
If it wasn't obvious before, it's pretty obvious now. So the hope is that this man has learned from this. But in the history of athletes and entertainers and YNs, we already know what's the likelihood, and I hope I'm wrong.
I hope I'm wrong too.
Of the likelihood of what's going to happen. So after this, let's see where he is now. So Kansas City Chiefs Xavier Worthy focuses on new beginnings after domestic violence arrests. And the article I meant to show you guys that I forgot was showed the article of him being exonerated from all charges because they found that it was basically a lie. And they looked at the because unfortunately he has a Ring camera, so he has video evidence of what exactly happened. New Beginnings 21 Worthy 21 wrote via Instagram Sunday, March 9th, after a selfie of him lounging in the bed with one hand resting on his head. News broke March 8th, blah, blah, blah. And after further investigation by the Williamson County Sheriff's Office and further discussion with third-party witnesses, Mr. Worthy and his attorneys, this case has been declined at this time pending completion of investigation by the Williamson County Sheriff's Office. Basically, they found out he was lying. Now, well, them dreads, where his dreads were, she pulled a few of them out. Domestic violence. Now, had it been a man that pulled a woman's hair out, even if it's fake,
you're done.
Where would he be?
In jail.
Where would he be? Yeah. No ifs, ands, or buts. This man had to cut his hair because she pulled his braids out. That's the real answer.
Got a nice haircut, though.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good haircut, but I'm just saying, but that should not be the reason that he got a haircut.
Exactly.
Let's see. They continued. She was asked multiple times over the last 2 weeks to get the hell out of Worthy's residence upon discovery of her cheating, which a private investigator have visited video evidence of. So he hired a PI on her. She refused to vacate the residence and made a number of crazy efforts prior to resorting to baseless allegations. She destroyed a room in a residence, scratched Mr. Worthy's face, and ripped out parts of his hair, which there is photographic evidence of. Mr. Worthy told law enforcement at the time of the incident he did not want to press charges. You effing idiot. See, this is why, unfortunately, women get away with this stuff. Because you done got cuts, you done found it cheating, and she tore yourself up. I don't care how rich you are. Yes, you can replace it. However, these are teachable moments. I don't care how much you love. She don't love you. Press charges. Make her tail go to jail. She needs to be in jail because had you did that to her, she put you in jail. You didn't even do nothing. And then you talking about you don't want to press charges. See, this is how you know. This is sign 2. How you know he's going to forgive her and say, oh, the Lord has shown me. You already know. And this types of stuff pisses me off. When this is why some women are not accountable because the men don't make them. When they do something wrong or something that's out of pocket, they just put their head down and turn to say, you know what? It's okay. We be together. So then when she cheats on him again and gets knocked up, which is probably going to happen, and tricks him into marrying her, then when he retires, she's going to take half his income and alimony.
She most definitely is.
So we already know the end of the story. He's 21. I mean, let's hope I'm wrong. And if it's wrong, I'll be right here on this camera and say I'm wrong. But I have not been wrong about this stuff yet.
I want us to be wrong because what I predicted, he's going to get back with her. He's going to say the Lord brought us together. It's probably going to give a couple weeks. He's probably going to, mess around with her on the side in secret. And then when, give it his second contract, you're going to see her at the press conference holding his hand and say, baby.
You think it's going to take that long? You think it's going to wait to the second? You think it's going to take the second press conference
for him to show her to the world?
Oh, yeah.
Because he right now it's a little sour, and he knows the reaction. He knows the social media people gonna get on him. Yeah. But second contract, you're gonna see her right by his side doing press conference.
Lord have mercy.
But he will get back with her probably in a few weeks. The Lord, God brought him back together. We all go through hard times. That's not hard times you want to go through. No.
Here's a couple statistics on male domestic violence. So this does happen. So of course, women, 1 in 4 women has been abused, which is more than 1 of 4, but 1 of 7 men. And these are the reported cases because I see it all the time. Women slapping dudes upside the head, doing all this stuff. Like, look, I learned at a very early age. My mama taught me keep your hands to yourself.
So,
Then, when I was in elementary school, guess what they told us? Keep your hands to yourself. And I am a firm believer that man, woman, whoever, keep your hands to yourself. And when you don't, expect outcomes. That's just how I look at it. So I believe that I believe the 1 in 4 women is accurate and maybe even underrepresented, but the 1 in 7 men is definitely underrepresented. Definitely.
I have 2 friends that experienced domestic violence from a woman and still stuck with her.
I have too. I mean, I literally, this was moons ago when I was in Atlanta. One of my first relationships it was like 10 years ago. Woman threw something at me, hit me with something, and like grabbed my arm and like literally had bruises on my arm. And I didn't say I'm not gonna do nothing. I won't say repeat what I said, but I will say I put the fear of God in her on at the end of it because I don't bother nobody, and I don't believe in hitting women unless I'm attacked. And to be honest with you people, it took everything in my soul to not like throw her out the window that day.
Trust me,
and what I learned that day, I'm gonna be honest with you all. What I learned that day was if I ever have to get that upset with a person, they need to get away from me immediately. You need to, that is a sign. If I ever get even half that upset, because I literally was so upset, it was like a red film was over my eyes. Like I literally, how people say you saw red? I thought that was a saying. No, seeing red is a real thing. I literally saw red. And yeah, I was sitting there calculating how much money I had in my account for my cousin to bail me out of jail. That was literally the thoughts that were going through my head at that time. Hey, Shante.
What's going on, Shante? Yeah.
Hit that like button if you have not already. Thank you guys for joining us. We are discussing Xavier Worthy and the domestic violence and his arrest. And man, this has been a doozy.
Yeah, I've experienced a crazy person before, and she got into my face. That relationship I told you about, and she tried it took everything in me not to do anything. I'm talking about she called me a BAN, ban. She called me a ban. Put the finger in my face. What you gonna do about it? What you gonna do? You gonna hit me, huh? What you gonna do? And I was like,
I want to. Right.
Lord, I was like, yo. And it was in front of my mother. Oh. And she saw the whole thing. And she's like, don't do it, Joel. She just, don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Take a walk. Take a walk. I literally had to run outside and she was coming after me. Ooh.
I'm so thankful. This is why there's only been like 1 or 2 women I've even brought around my mother, to be perfectly honest, because
that was
you have to be so vetted and yeah, you just ain't meeting the folks.
Woo, buddy, that's
just a mess.
That was a wild situation. Hacked social media. I mean, I could go all day, but anyways, I understand.
You understand?
It's a dangerous game, man. And I still have, I'll be honest, still PTSD from allowing certain access and stuff like that because of those things. So, and as a person that understands how the law works, I'm not going to reveal too much. It's a dangerous game once you're accused of something, and it's hard to fight.
Yeah, you have to not put yourself in certain situations because you're not going to win. You're always going to lose. Always. And once you understand that, you'll be fine.
Mm-hmm.
All right, one last part on this. Let's pull that up. Here's a breakdown of what we said.
Okay.
Imagine you go to jail because your girlfriend was cheating on you, decided to rip out your dreads, so now you look like this, but somehow she not in the wrong. Let me explain the story for y'all. Kansas City football player Xavier Worthy found out that his girlfriend was cheating on him 2 weeks ago. For 2 weeks, he tried to get her to leave his crib. She was not going. When told to leave again, she got physical, ripped out his dreads, destroyed his crib. A man's had to join Taper Fade Nation, but he went to jail because she decided to lie to police and claim that he grabbed her up. It was proven false due to witnesses stating that he never did that, which is why they dropped the charges. But in the midst of his arrest, you already seen how social media was going. Quick to jump on the slide, quick to say he did it, trying to ruin that man's career. So again, I ask you, how could he be wrong because he didn't want to end up like Travis Hunter? How could he be wrong because he wanted to separate himself from her and she lashed out? That's crazy, bro.
I mean, that just summed up. That just literally summed up everything we just said.
Why did they Travis' name out there? That's so messed up.
But is he wrong?
He ain't wrong though. Oh man.
I'm like, but is he? The question is that man wrong?
He's not wrong, man. And that's my biggest fear with it. Because I love Travis, a football player, and he seems like a really good kid. But I can tell, like, if his girl were to ever do anything, he would crash out crazy.
Oh yeah, he's gonna crash out. One more guy. Here's a DA.
Shucks, what in the world?
Hey, I'm a victim of assault. Nobody ever takes me seriously whenever I bring this up. When I was younger, about in 3rd grade, my teacher did promiscuous actions with me. She assaulted me. Now, when I told people about this, namely, firstly, my dad, he said, "Good job, son." And I was really confused. I was like, okay. Well, I told my friends, and my friends said, "Hey, man, good job." I'm confused. I feel hurt, defeated. I feel like this is a bad thing that's happening. But sadly, I then tell the only other authority figure I know, which was my gym teacher. My gym teacher says, "Good job, kid." I'm confused. So I think that this is supposed to happen. That's what I think. It's supposed to happen. It's supposed to be going on. This is correct. This is regular. This is supposed to be going on. I'm 3rd grade. She's a teacher. I'm thinking it's regular. I never spoke up about that until I went in high school. I was in high school and I got assaulted by a male teacher. Guess what? I didn't tell anybody because last time I told somebody, guess what happened? Nobody did anything. And everybody to before said, "Good job." I didn't want to hear that. I didn't want to hear a good job for me getting assaulted. I didn't want that. So I just kept it to myself for quite some time. Later in life, I was about 23 years old. I was sad. I had lost one of the close people in my lives. I invited one of my friends who was a woman. She came over. And I was sad. I was defeated. She came on to me. After that, I was like, "Whoa, slow down there, buddy. I'm sad right now. I don't want to do this." And she said, "Come on. You know you want to." And I said very clearly in every single language, "No." And then she said, "Come on, I know you want this." Boom. Bada bing, bada boom. Against my free will. That happened. Told my friends about it. They said, "Oh, she's pretty though." "Oh, she's pretty though." Told my other friend, "Oh, she's pretty though." Told another one of my friends who was a girl. She said, "Oh, she's hot. It makes sense." Nobody took me seriously. Nobody listened to me. Nobody in my entire life, every time I've been assaulted, has taken me seriously. Not once. And it hurts. It doesn't make me feel good to go through this each time. Each time you diminishing returns. Each single time that it happens to me is horrifying. I hate it. I was assaulted as a child twice. It happened. And then as an adult, no one ever is going to take me seriously again. If it happens again, I can't say anything. Because people say I'm lucky that it's happening because the people that assaulted me were good looking. I'm sick of it. It makes me feel bad. And I hate it. Men don't speak up. And men aren't speaking up because other men say we're lucky. or women sometimes get jealous. I feel like I'm stuck in limbo right now. So I'm talking to you guys. It hurts. And I'm sad.
Wow.
That was a lot. I'm trying to not shoot the messenger here. So let's try to keep it in context. We're trying to not shoot the messenger. It is hard.
Yeah.
But no, I mean that's a
it's a real thing.
Unfortunately, it hasn't happened to me, but that's a real thing.
It's a real thing.
And as a guy, if you are shamed when you turn down, I haven't went that far, but turning down certain women, as a guy, that's the thing.
Mm-hmm. Well, you
get shamed, you get ostracized. It's like, oh, what's wrong with you? I wish, but yeah,
man, that's the reality of being a man. I mean, you know how many times we've had men's mental health month and you don't hear nothing about it.
Oh, nobody cares.
Nobody cares. Yeah, we're just utility. I mean, that's what it is. I mean, that's from a men's coach and understanding just the current forecast of society. We're just utility to people,
Mm-hmm.
We're just crash test.
Crash test dummies. It's like it's labor and finance.
That's it.
That's pretty much most people. Either you providing something for free or you providing money, or both. Mm-hmm. That's most men's worth. That's the society we live in. It's what it is. Like I always say, I can't make the rules, just like in basketball. I wish I could just pick up the ball instead of having to dribble, but I don't make the rules. If I play the game, it's what it is. And so as a man, you have to understand the rules of the game and judge yourself accordingly.
Judge yourself accordingly and move accordingly.
Exactly. Move accordingly. That's a better word for it. Yes. Mm-hmm. All right. So we're going to switch gears just a little bit, because now we're going to get into the main topic of tonight, where, again, we're going to get into red pill and if it's helpful for men. But this young lady I've been following, her name is I Am Taylor Chandler. She is very, very intuitive, very smart woman, and I really like her content. So she breaks down misogamy versus misandry, and she's really kind of breaking down why guys break red pill before we jump into it. So I think this is a good segue. Let's bring her up. Here she is.
Radical red pill takes advantage of men's issues with women, specifically rejection, keeping men trapped in anger and resentment and feeding off of each other's toxic emotions, only feeling more justified the more they consume. This is especially problematic for desperate and lonely men who need refuge, because you won't feel desperate and lonely if you're with a bunch of other desperate and lonely people. Now you feel empowered. Now you feel justified. You feel vindicated. Gradually radicalizes men towards increasingly toxic thinking, misogyny. We have to learn what the word misogyny means. I think that people who have an issue sometimes with even having a conversation about misogyny is because you want some permission to be misogynistic. You want a little bit of margin. You have to do that somewhere else. Misogyny, dislike of, contempt for, or ingrained prejudice against women. Now, there's an other side of this, okay? There's also misandry, contempt for men. Absolutely not. If that's you, we want you out of here. Because we have to deal in respect. We have to be able to check ourselves and check each other. And sometimes you're not a full-blown misogynist, but don't you know somebody that's a little bit racist? So to be able to identify those seeds of misandry in you, the seeds of misogyny in you, I believe is very healthy. And we want to be able to do that. We should be able to do that. I think it's very dangerous to think that it couldn't be me. Yes, absolutely. Especially in this kind of society we're in. Absolutely.
Oh, wow.
Absolutely, it could be you.
Shantae.
Shout out to Shantae for the super chat.
Shantae, we really appreciate you.
You are the MVP. We really appreciate you up there.
Shantae, we appreciate you a lot. Your support. This means a lot.
Yes, indeed. Yes,
Mhm.
indeed. We appreciate you. But yeah, I mean, she
Wow.
said a whole mouthful. Again, that is I am Taylor Chandler. Make sure y'all
Oh.
follow her. She really
Oh,
puts
dude.
really good content. And if you are a woman that has accountability issues, you might want to follow her because she, because you don't want to hear from guys. She's really, really good.
Dude,
But
Derek, sorry to cut you off, but I was very impressed by that. Was probably the best statement I've seen today. The way she broke down the red pill movement and the way she broke down misandry is she explained it better than I explained it when I made my video. The black pill stuff, and this is my thing, right?
Don't define it yet because we're about to jump into it. Don't define it yet. I don't want to spoil it for the viewers. Yeah. I got a series of articles, but go ahead. Just don't deep dive in it yet.
Yeah,
so have time for it.
I'm just gonna explain that was amazing. I mean, she hit it. I'm gonna follow her.
Yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely. I am Taylor Chandler.
Oh my God, that was like.
Oh yeah, she's definitely she's a smart woman.
She's attractive too.
Of course she is. If she wasn't, nobody would listen to her.
But now I'm gonna follow her because she does. I like wise women a lot.
I do too. All right, let's check out this. Let's check out this article here. Once I can share this tab instead. And all right. Why men enter and exit the manosphere. Right. So for you all that don't know, the manosphere is basically men's content, quote unquote, red pill content. As a matter of fact, before we jump into it, let's go to Wikipedia. Matter of fact, manosphere is a very collection of websites, blogs, online forums promoting masculinity, misogyny, and opposition to feminism. Communities within the manosphere includes men rights activists, incels, who we will define in a minute, MGTOW, men going their own way, pickup artists, PUA, and father rights group. While the specifics of each group's beliefs sometimes conflict, they are generally united in the belief that society is biased against men due to influence of feminism and that feminists promote misandry. Acceptance of these ideas is described as taking the red pill, as we saw in the movie The Matrix. The manosphere, well, we ain't gonna get into all that, but that's the I'm trying to find a non-biased definition because I really searched online and it really most of the definitions were written by women, and when you look through them, they were feminists. So I don't really want that. So Wikipedia is supposed to be the least biased out of all of them. And then we had a couple other terms. There is MGTOW, which is men going their own way. That makes those are men that believe that they should be completely separate from women. They don't deal with them. They see society as gynocentric and it's been corrupted. And they advocate for men to avoid marriage and committed relationships with women. So that can be pretty widespread. And then we have the other side of, I believe, a sub genre of MGTOW, incel. An incel, which was a term that was dubbed by a feminist, believe it or not, is a concatenation of involuntary celibate, meaning that they can't get none no way. So they just say they hate women and they're frustrated, right? They define themselves as unable to find a romantic or sexual partner despite desiring one, and who may blame and objectify and degenerate women and girls as a result. So in other words, the guys that said, well, I can't get no girl because I am not 6 feet, I don't have 6 figures, and only the Chads and Tyrones can get girls. Many times those are incel keywords. Now that we've broken that down, let's go back to the article. Why men enter and exit the manosphere, from a psychologist's name is Mark Travers. I don't necessarily agree with all of it, but I just wanted to give some context. The manosphere refers to a collection of websites, blog, blah, blah, blah. We just saw that. And he goes into men's rights activists, pickup artists, which we know those are men that teach strategies on how to pick up women. So Neil Strauss, there was a book that he did. I forgot what the name of it was, but he was like one of the original pickup artists. And one of his terms was being cocky and funny to pick up women. I remember hearing that a while back. Then the red pill men, it came from the Matrix, taking the red pill or awakening that changes your view. So blue pill men are the guys that are, you know, traditional, want to have families, get married, believe that women are sugar, spice, and everything nice. And then we talked about incels. So these are the reasons that many men turn to the red pill or these types of mindsets. They're nursing heartbreak and recontextualizing rejection. I agree with that one. A 2023 study details the journey of radicalization of ex-members of the manosphere based on their accounts from to Reddits. If you ever want to see some real incels, some real angry men, go to Reddit, because there is no, you can pretty much say and put up anything you want. Like Reddit is like the swamp. It is like the ghetto of the internet. Often users find themselves drawn to the manosphere as a result of experiencing romantic rejection and frustrating within their dating lives, as well as grappling with feelings of being inadequate as a masculine male. Such individuals often experience loneliness and self-esteem, which were reinforced by narratives of alpha and beta men in the manosphere. This dichotomy categorizes men into alphas viewed as confident, assertive, successful, and great with women, and the betas who are portrayed as submissive, less successful, and more prone to rejection. And as a matter of fact, let's go ahead and pull up the alpha male strategy guide right here. I don't know if you guys can see it. Let's see.
I'm about to make it a little bigger. Pause.
Oh, man, come on. Pinterest is acting up. Sorry about that. If we can get this to pop up a little bit bigger. There we go. All right. This is kind of a, let me see if I can make it a little bit bigger. Of course not. It wants to get smaller, even though I'm hitting. All right. We got the alpha male, self-fulfilled, self-aware, self-mastery, blah, blah, blah. Beta male, selfish, self-absorbed, self-pity. And then on love women and sex, cooperates with women. This is what alpha men do. Cooperates with women. I don't know about that. Views women as partners, intrigued by women. I think this is a bad list because
this is a bad list.
Yeah, I'm like, this is actually the opposite. And then now the beta male might be right. Competes with women, views women as possessions, intimidated by women, marries to meet needs. Sex is about validation, unwilling to listen and learn. Yeah. Life views, betas are fear-based. Every man for himself, sees himself as a victim in life, chases meaningless things. Now, all those parts are true. Now, the alphas, they ain't really got that correct, I don't believe.
Nah,
from my point of view, it's a little bit. But again, that's why men go there. And then the second one is because they need the support system, because nothing says, I hate to say this, a person that is not doing well, you know, they just want other people not being well, because I can't use the word I really want to use on this live. Yeah. So people that are not successful like to be around other people that are not successful to make them all feel like they're successful. So that is a need for a support system. It is relatively common for those guys seeking advice and help from psychological challenges that they face online, which led them to the manosphere figures. As you notice, a lot of those manosphere figures, you know, these guys are fanboys of them. And now he says we'll get into X and the Manosphere later. But I said a whole lot. So I want to get your feedback on everything that I just went through, because there's a lot to unpack there.
I think number one, when it comes to all these terms, and there's also a term called red pill rage, right? That's something that I've experienced. I'll be honest with you, where you go through a particular season where you've been rejected, or a woman has harmed you of some sort, has really destroyed your ego. So once you start looking at some of the content and really start to learn some of the realities, right? Because essentially red pill is awareness, right? That's what red pill essentially is. But one thing I do believe, it's supposed to be, right, exactly. But I think one thing I've realized about in life is you have to do everything in moderation. You can't do too much of anything. So what tends to happen with a lot of guys who are incels or in that category, they become extreme red pill, black pill, where they really don't even deal with women at all anymore. Or
explain black pill for the viewers, please.
Yeah, so there's another movement called the black pill, and the black pill are people who see things from they don't even deal with women, period. They're incels. Is that
the same as MGTOW and incel? Is that the same thing?
They're I
think, in my opinion, to me, they're the same people. But
that's what I'm saying. Would you say that the MGTOW and that would be a subset?
Incel, it's the same. I think it's the same thing. I don't even think it's a subset. I think MGTOW don't deal with women at all. They go their own way. They don't believe in relationships and marriage. Incels, the thing is about MGTOW is they say they choose to not. Incels know they can't. Both of them can't. Right. Both of them can't.
Yeah, you go.
One just say they choose to.
Yeah.
Can't. So black pill is both of them together. That's my view of it. I could be wrong. So let me know in the comments if I'm wrong or if I'm just crazy. But in my head, black pill is just basically like, nope, I've washed my hands. I've given up. I don't want to improve myself. I don't want to make any more money. I don't want to provide for women. I don't want to be responsible. Women are evil. They are going to do nothing but take your money, and money you don't have most of the time. They just want to take advantage of me and make me feel bad, and they're going to cheat on me. That's the black pill.
That's black pill. Yeah, you said it so perfectly. You explained it perfectly, because when it comes to incels, those are guys who are like, oh, I can't get women. Oh my gosh. And then you have you have the MGTOW guys like, oh, I don't need women. I can get them, but I don't need them anymore. I'm done. I know how they are. But essentially, they're just like incels. They're incels essentially. So, yeah, it's disgusting, man. Because at the end of the day, man, like I like the feminine presence. Like I
ain't gonna lie. I love me some women. Now listen, dealing with one-on-one relationships sometimes can be challenging, But hey, I'm not gonna not deal with women because whatever. Shantae says she's laughing at incel. Shantae, I know you know some incels. I know you know some. They might not say they're incels, but I know you know some. We all know some.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't agree with the black pill. I understand some of the red pill concepts, but I'm not in agreement with that type of mentality. I'm more like men's empowerment and self-improvement, because we got a lot of work to do as men. I literally do this live to expose the work we need to do as men, not to say women are bad, because some women are bad, some women are good. But my thing is really focused more on men.
That's why I make the content. That's
why we're here.
That's why the content that I make isn't. And a lot of people, and it's funny because there's certain people that are angry people that I would say in that misandry category that would say, oh, your content is toxic. When if you really watch my videos, I don't never bash women at all. You know what I mean? I talk about ways men can improve. That's what the content is all about. I'm more focused on building leaders, building men, building more self-awareness versus coming at women, because It's not conducive. It ain't gonna change nothing.
No, it's
I
like
don't have anything to do it.
and in my opinion, anyway, I think that women need to advise women that women aren't our responsibility.
Not at all.
That's other women's responsibility.
Yeah,
So,
and it's funny because I get this message often. Why don't you make content to help women? Well, no, because I know how y'all are. I'm gonna say certain things, and they're gonna get offended, and it's gonna hurt your little feelings.
Go find Derek Jackson.
Oh yeah, he will.
He'll make you feel good. Because see, my thing is, and and I even ask my female friends, if you're asking me a question, do you want the real answer? Or do you want to feel good? Because if you want to feel good, don't ask me.
Don't ask me.
Especially if it's something, relationship. Because number one, I'm going to make you accountable, and number two, you're probably not going to like it.
Oh, we have female friends. We hold them accountable. We get on.
Yeah, but they're open. But they're open to it.
It's different. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Shout out to the Jays. Y'all know who y'all are if you watch it.
Yeah. They're open to it.
All right, let's check this video out right here. Got one more. This kind of that's not the one. Hold on. Nope. This is a short documentary. We're not going to watch the whole thing because it's like 45 minutes. But it's why that Red Pill and Andrew Tate and Fresh and Fit and all the other guys, they're irresistible to so many men. So I found this really interesting.
And I will crack the matrix.
The controversial social media influencer Andrew Tate.
The rising attractiveness of figures like Andrew Tate.
I'm not a generalized person. I'm an exceptional person. Everything you've learned, and everyone you've ever spoken to, and everything in your books does not apply to me because I am exceptional and I'm smarter than you and I've done things you could never do. And I'm a world champion athlete and I'm richer than you'll ever be. So nothing you know can possibly apply to my mindset. So why are we sitting here talking?
Loneliness. It is something that most of us have experienced at one point or another. As human beings, our need for connection is intrinsic to who we are. But what groups of people do we usually associate with the cold shadow of loneliness? Perhaps the elderly, the sick or disabled, a mourning widow maybe. Now, who do we often forget about? What group of people do we rarely associate with loneliness in terms of our general understanding of broader society? Young men. A study by Pew Research showed that more than 60% of young men are single, nearly twice the rate of young women. In a 2023 questionnaire by Equimundo, administered to men between the ages of 18 to 45 across the United States, their report found that 44% of all men had thoughts of suicide in the prior 2 weeks, with young men showing the highest levels of depressive symptoms and suicidal ideation. 15% of men report having no close friendships, a five-fold increase from 1990, according to research by the Survey Center on American Life. But why is it that the fact that young men are increasingly suffering from loneliness and social isolation appears to elicit limited, if any, empathy from the wider public or policymakers? Is it possible that we ourselves are operating from the same logic of traditional forms of masculinity that we say are toxic and harmful?
Wait, come on, shut up.
Are we the ones actually internalizing ideas about male self-sufficiency, male self-reliance, and male toughness that blocks us from seeing struggling young men as people worthy of compassion? Or do we see helping young men as a zero-sum game that somehow takes us away from the unfinished fight for gender equality for women and non-binary folks? The truth is that with broader shifts in the political economy, the rise of loneliness in young men is a result of various social, political, and cultural forces. Changing gender roles, rising numbers of young men struggling in school, advanced globalized markets leaving many jobs automated and outsourced, the alienating effects of a deeply precarious job market, various institutions collapsing or in the process of transformation, and the very gendered nature of labor itself rightly shifting beneath our feet, and with society not being able to keep up with these rapid changes, Many men are left in difficult societal positions, especially men who find themselves at the intersection of neurodivergence, economic disadvantage, and racial marginalization.
All right, I just wanted to play that part of it because, like I said, it's a whole lot.
You got
Quick comment.
Yeah.
The truth is irresistible to men. Men care about what gets results, not what society tells them they're supposed to think about relationships. So men who speak harsh truths will always have an audience. Very insightful. Shout out to I can't even pronounce that. It starts with A, but shout out to you for your comment. We appreciate you very, very, very much. But no, that's a good point.
Yeah, well, about what's there. Well, most dudes, the way we're wired, we're not wired by hope. We're wired by what's actually happening. Women are very hope tactic type people. They think with hope. They're very idealistic when it comes to relationships. Men are more like, how would I say?
Is that one thing I would say is I believe men are actually more romantic than women are.
Oh, absolutely.
Like, I think men actually want more relationships because they want more. Men prefer things more steady, right? Women like
chaos.
They like things a little chaotic. That's why they love drama. They love movies and, all things that have, we like things that are to the point. You know what I mean? And women like, the drama, the roller coaster and so forth. So men are actually more romantic in general. They they would prefer a stable relationship, but women like men that don't prefer stable relationship. They prefer to like men that have multiple relationships. We saw in our last live that there's a big population of women that would prefer to have a guy that has multiple women as long as he can provide for all of them than a guy that wants her one-on-one that they do 50-50.
Absolutely.
And we have seen it with our personal friends and our personal anecdotal examples. We have seen it with our own eyes multiple times.
It's a real thing. I mean, let's keep it,
let's keep it a buck.
Let's keep it a buck. Let's keep it a buck.
Right. Got another one for you. This guy, he's I think this is a good example of red pill content. This is, I forgot the name of this guy's podcast.
Oh, yeah, that podcast, yeah.
Controversial podcast. I forgot his name, but if I find it, I'll put it down in the description. I can't think of it right this minute.
Oh, this guy.
It's the Whatever podcast, duh. Right there behind the Whatever.
So he just made a really valid comment. Whoever that is said.
Andrew Tate. Oh, let's throw this up here.
You can pull it out.
Andrew Tate is just saying out loud what fathers and big brothers used to teach them in private. Women have never heard that kind of talk, not like men's locker room talk. It's not shocking. It's shocking to women.
This is true.
I agree.
It's so true.
The leaders of the pack are usually the ones to talk like that, and the rest of the guys just kind of shut up and listen. It's kind of the same thing. He's just capitalized on it. You're 100% correct. All right, let's get this clip.
No. So my thing is, you never sign a contract with someone who is rewarded for breaking it. And women in today's day and age, if the guy's the breadwinner, they are rewarded by breaking the marriage contract. See, if you look at the vows of marriage, what do they say? They say, till death do us part. That has to mean something in today's day and age. But it ain't the case. If I do marry a girl, it has to be till death do us part. There is no divorce. So to me, I'd have to be so certain, but your words have to mean something. Till death do us part has to mean something. And frankly, in today's day and age, it doesn't.
Now, a lot of people will accuse that of being red pill. I think of it as common sense. But
yeah, it's common sense.
But then we are people that hate women, and see, this is what I don't like about red pill conversations is the fact that people try to confuse that type of comment with women are bad, this, that, and the other. But I mean, it makes sense. It's marriage is just not what it is. My parents are married forever. I have no idea how long it was, but it's long as until my dad passed. And Rocky or not Rocky, it was till death do you part. And that literally is what happened in that situation. And but now when you say, well, you're rewarded for, it's not women's fault, it's the law. And until the laws change, men have a right to say no.
And
honestly, I'm one of them. I'm like, nope, I'm good.
Well, these conversations are going to continue.
That legal contract?
Yeah.
I'm good.
Yeah. Because these conversations are going to continue because women do get frustrated. Let's keep it a buck. Women get frustrated. Like, I was on Threads this morning and they're like, why do men have a problem getting married? Blah, blah, blah. And it's like, do you understand how the law works? Like, we don't live in fantasy. You don't get incentive.
Some of us don't.
Huh?
Some of us don't live in fantasy.
Right. And I see it. I'm like, obviously, how the law works with this stuff. We lose. I have friends that are losing right now because
I have friends that have
legalities of marriage.
Right. Not only losing, they have already lost.
And it's still suffering mentally.
Yeah. They're broken. There's a lot of guys that are broken. So now I'm going to go through what I call the moist point of view of Red Pill. We got a couple clips of this.
The problem with the Red Pill is that it turns you into a petty, transactional, and scorekeeping man who's way too uptight to build a real emotional connection with a woman. You're never going to be able to build something real, something valuable, something emotional with a woman if you are constantly on the defensive and you approach dating and women with an us versus them frame. A relationship is fundamentally about creating an us frame, not a me versus her frame. And if you're constantly battling confrontational back and forth and you always think that in order for you to win, she has to lose or be beneath you, you're never going to build a real emotional connection and you're never going to build a healthy relationship.
Got one question. What do you think his pronouns are?
He, his.
Yeah, I can assure you that he is one of the pronoun gangsters.
Blue pill. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
you can tell.
Yeah.
And the thing is, he see that people pick and choose what they want to hear when it comes to some of the things the Red Pill guys say. That's not what Red Pill is. He's an idiot. This emotional. He's an idiot. Red Pill is about awareness, understanding human nature, understanding that women are like this, right? And Alpha Male Strategies made a really dope video, right? About the different colors. Shout out to AMS. He talked about what Red Pill is, he talked about what Blue Pill is, and he talked about Purple Pill, which is another, right?
Yeah, that's a whole nother conversation.
Exactly. Yeah. And that's different. I don't want to get you guys mixed up with all these different colors, but he talked about the Purple Pill. And just as a quick explanation, Purple Pill guys are guys who want relationships, who want to get married, but are truly aware of female nature, fully aware of the world. But they're just making the decision of the commitment and all that good stuff. So those are Purple Pill guys.
Yeah. So, all right, we got another moist point of view.
Okay. Oh Lord.
You need to be careful. If you're looking at Red Pill stuff, it is demonic. And let me tell you why. So to know if something is good or bad, you have to look at its fruits. Is it bearing good fruits or bad fruits? So is it pulling you closer to God or away from God? And we have to zoom out whenever we look at this. So basically, Red Pill is teaching men to become more masculine, to increase their sexual market value, to ultimately get laid with a lot of girls. And it's teaching men stuff like, let the girl text first, don't text her twice, and make sure you talk to 5-10 girls at once, all those kind of things, right? So if the ultimate purpose is for men to get laid, ask yourself, is that good or bad? Is that really what you want? You really think that's going to make you happy? Something as fleeting as that? And I'm telling you this because if you feel like you're not masculine because you haven't gotten laid or gotten with X amount of girls, that's not what it means to be masculine. Being masculine is to step into your purpose, and you do that by focusing on Jesus Christ. In fact, Jesus Christ is the ultimate example of what it means to be biblically masculine because he had a tall task. He was tasked to basically sacrifice himself to save the world. And he knew it was going to be painful being crucified on a cross, yet he did it anyways. And that's what we need to do as men. We need to love other people to the point where we're not afraid of going through pain, through suffering, so that we can provide for them, to provide for our mom or dad or siblings or family or friends, the people that depend on us and the people that need us. So I just urge y'all, look at Jesus Christ. Who is Jesus as a person? Have a relationship with him. What did Jesus do? And follow him, imitate him, be more Christ-like. And I promise you, that will make you masculine and you will be happy. You will be able to step into your purpose because Jesus Christ is guiding you rather than these false teachings telling you to get laid, sleep with 50 girls in a year, all that crap. Stay.
Lord have mercy.
Can I say something?
I want you to say a lot because I'm looking at the faces you're making while looking at this moist point of view.
Let me look. And I'm not a Bible expert, but a lot of quotes in the Bible, what do they preach, Derek? You read what kind of stuff do they preach in the Bible? And he want to
polygamy, having multiple wives and concubines. So you can have wives and concubines. So that's 304s for you all that don't know what concubines are.
And what testament is that? And what testament?
Side chicks. So so to his point, yeah, you can be masculine. Jesus was a leader of men. That is masculine. Yes, all of those things. However, the example of leaders of men are usually not in the church. If you want to talk about showing the fruits of labor, yeah, we just looked at some fraudulent activity on our last live with Pastor Jamal Bryant.
Don't get me started with that.
Well, we did a whole live on that. So my thing is, let's not try to. Number one, he doesn't even understand what it is because that's not what he said. Is not red pill.
You can tell he's a new age. You can tell he just became Christian. You can tell he's one of those like, I just woke up a Christian. I went through a situation. And
I'm gonna tell everybody, right? I've been out here, probably had some relations that were alternative, and then decided to get his life right. Okay, I'm gonna show a couple comments because these are good comments. All right, the church reads blue pill men, which is a whole nother topic. No, that's actually this topic.
That's very true.
He's Christian and he's red pill as they come, but he's not blind to the truth. So you can do both. In the church, they pair out successful childless men with single mothers.
Oh, whoever this guy is, we got
brother. Yeah, shout out to you, bro. You're not wrong.
Spitting.
Yeah, he ain't wrong. Hey, he ain't done. Well, the Bible is probably the most red pill in existence, just that people in the church don't follow the Bible.
There was the first question I just asked you.
What are the men of the Bible?
Come on.
Listen, shoot, some of them Bible men were thugs. Jesus went in temples turning over tables. You know what I mean? So this when I used to go to church, one of my pastors called it the sissified version of Christianity. That's what we have. No, he called it sissification of the gospel. With men and the way that men are in the church and how they're very docile, and that's what it produced. Here's an example right here. Again, the moist point of view of red pill. Got one more for you. One more moist point of view of red pill, because these guys, man, listen.
Man, whoever he's speaking the truth. I don't know who that is, bro, but he's
I'm not sure, but shout out, like I said, shout out to this brother for following and for the comments, because we are appreciating your commentary. All right,
we know what pronouns he got.
Yeah, all right.
Red pill until I realized most of the dudes that get in there and stay there are weirdos. Like, they're verifiable weirdos. And in a lot of cases, a lot of them genuinely do not like women. They actually hate women, for real. I know a lot of y'all gonna be like, oh, nah, here you go trying to pander. I have no reason to want to pander to anybody right now. I don't care. If anything, what I'm saying right now is probably more of an indictment on myself, because I'm saying that at one point in time, I used to actually follow content like that. But bruh, I can tell you right now, most of the dudes in them spaces are freaking lames. It's dudes who never grew up. Bro got in one bad relationship, maybe two, and then suddenly was just like, yo, all of these joints are terrible. Then what happens is you wind up going to the internet and trying to watch a whole bunch of content that's just going to reinforce what you already think. That's why you up there watching Fresh and Fit right now, bro. Because you think they're going to be able to help you learn something about women that you don't know right now, or that the internet can't teach you. But the reality is the internet can teach you this stuff. Women talk about this stuff all the time. You just got to pay attention when they're talking about it. I'm not one of them dudes about to sit up here and act like, yo, women are never at fault for anything. But I'm also not dumb enough to think that two bona fide tricks can tell me how I need to be governing my life. They only have money because they taking it from you, goofy. You the lick, and you going to the person that's robbing you, asking them, how can I get some money? It's like, on one hand, it used to be a space where just men could just talk about real life, real issues, and then how to get around them. But a lot of the stuff that I see dudes talking about now is just people talking about OF thoughts. Who cares, bro? I don't care. I don't want one. Why are we interviewing 20 of them, talking to them like us saying this stuff to them is going to change their mind about anything? It's not. They still going to be weirdos and femcells. And the incel dude is going to stay an incel specifically because of this content. But he could be making some type of change. He's just not going to do it because he's still caught in this loop. I could yap about this for literally an hour, but I'm not going to lie to you. It's just annoying to see.
So I'm gonna be honest with you, Derek. At first, I was like, "Oh, here we go." And then
Yeah,
talking
because I didn't watch the whole thing. Yeah, at first I was just like,
But as he started talking, I'm like, he's exactly right. See, the guys who are, because I watched a portion of the Fresh and Fit podcast, right? When it first kind of came out, I'm like, okay, yeah, I see what you guys are talking about. But then it became very repetitive. It got to a point where it's just like a round table of women. You got these OF models, and you're screaming at them, kicking them out. And then to me, yeah, now it started sounding like, okay, these are corny. This is corny. You know what I mean? Because now, if guys are fans of that, then they're the problem. If you're fans of just kicking women out all day long, and understand that these women are not going to receive or learn anything from watching, it's more entertainment. They understand how the business works. It's entertainment value. It's going to get them clicks. They made their money, and now they ate off some of y'all. Y'all pay these courses to them and everything, and still living the same way you lived before.
That's the killer. That's the killer right there. You spoke on something right there. Nothing changes. You just go through all this stuff, and you watch. You just, it's kind of like you're the college student that learn all this stuff, but when the test comes, you fail it. You spent all that time studying.
Yeah, what's his name? He said, "Man, whoever this dude is, he knows his stuff."
Oh yeah. Oh, hold on, let me go back. That's the straw man. I got in one bad relationship. When in reality, it's a lot more, and men learn from those relationships. They get called misogynistic for learning from that. And then I don't think Fresh and Fit is really the best example of red pill content. It's just shock, jock, entertainment. Yes, but to your point. It's not, but when you look at it, when I just pulled up Wikipedia and Red Pill, and when I do Google searches, them and Canvas Samuels are the first two people that on the black side, and then Rollo Tomasi are the first three that come up on Red Pill content. Now, what the Red Pill actually is, you're right, but in the terms of the common person, they are considered red pills. So,
Right.
but you are correct. It is definitely shock jock.
Yeah, it's definitely a way to spice up the internet and kicking girls out and stuff like that. Because and to be keep it 100 with you from a deno, you know, of course, for those who understand denotative versus connotative, right? Something I taught in school.
There's too many big words, bro. You know,
Right.
you gotta,
Right, yeah.
You know, for some of us, you know, we only got 13th grade education. So
I know. So pretty much, as far as the definition of red pill, Kevin Samuels preached marriage. He preached relationships, black love. That's what
we know that. Yeah, we know that. But people, the general public, just thinks of him as misogynist and hate women, and he teaches red pill.
He did it. Kevin Samuels definitely had an element of shock jock as well. Because
he definitely, they're all there. You got to look at this, just like what we're doing right now. This is entertainment. It's some education, but it's mixed with entertainment. That's what YouTube really is. It's that, you know, this channel in particular is more entertainment. I would say 75% entertainment and 25% education. And you know, that's Kevin Samuels, Fresh and Fit, MTR, AMS, all these people. They're educating men, but they're all, you know, you have to entertain us. You can't just read off the book and just be what it is.
Doesn't work. Doesn't work.
And then the shock jock part, you know, you look at Kevin Samuels, you look at Black Guru, he's a new one, and FitX. These people call into the shows voluntarily. It's not like nobody forcing anybody to call about anything. And it is entertaining because I personally get a kick out of it, but it also helps me understand some women's mentalities, and help me understand Dusty's mentality. I can kind of balance on both, because when they call in to FitX, we see the whole Dust is just everywhere.
I'm calling it for looks maximum.
Maximum. I need some looks maximum advice. He's like, so let's check out, you know, let's see your physique, bro. Get up there. We gonna shout him out. That's a whole nother show. That's another show for FitX, because that brother, I haven't seen Alexander Grace yet. He was asked what we think of Alexander Grace video We're Doomed. Talks about women controlling the pace of discussion with their emotion. I will, you know what, I'm gonna look at that after this show, and then we might bring that up next week. So make sure you stay tuned, because yeah, I'll check it out. So we got one now. The next segment and the last segment is really the reaction to women's point of view from men experiencing men taking the red pill. And I already know what you're about to say. I knew it.
Look at me.
You're so predictable.
I know. You know.
So predictable. I already knew what you were gonna say. Soon as she popped up.
Woo, Lord, let's go. Put the video.
The other day, I'm having a conversation with a content creator. We're acquaintances, but you know, we were having this conversation and kind of trickled into dating. And he was telling me that he has had a hard time scoring with the ladies lately. And basically during dates, girls go cold and kind of lose interest. Or when he did get one night stands, they won't even come back for seconds. He's just getting ghosted. So I asked him to run me down the conversations he's having with these women during these dates. And I shit you not, he's using word for word verbatim from the Red Pill content community. I mean, he's criticizing age, weight, how much she makes, single moms, body count, if she's well traveled, how much social media she uses.
These men.
Sir, if you're just trying to get laid, why are you making this so complicated? Why? And he's like, no. And I'm just like, well, what content creators do you watch? And he was like, oh, I watch Fresh and Fit and Andrew Tate and pop. And I was just like, and you're repeating the things these guys are saying? Okay, you gotta understand that women aren't stupid. Even though you think women are dumb, women know that you guys get online and watch this content. And what they hear is just a parrot, someone that just repeats over and over what they hear, what they think women want to hear.
You're not coming off as a genuine guy. It's a, I need to read a book and a manual just to figure out how a woman works. Women can smell that a mile away. And granted, I understand these podcasts are there for you to learn if you really have no damn idea, but it's a bad look when you're regurgitating everything another man says. It's giving robot.
But the truth.
Yeah, that's crazy right there. I don't understand when men do that stuff.
Oh Lord, don't get me started. And Derek, I mentioned this before. There's dudes who are like these weirdos that sit in their mom's basement, fresh and fit all day in the pajamas. You know, they got
draws,
they're in their drawers, and oh my gosh, Myron's on it. He's kicking a bitch out. Oh my gosh, he's about to kick her out. Yeah, get her. And after the show's over, he's back to reality, sliding in DMs, being dusty. And then after that, he got a date, right? He got one of the courts, he got a date, and then he's like, so how much do you weigh? What do you rate yourself on the scale? Like, dudes, fellas, if you're on my channel and you're watching this, why are you having these type of conversations on these dates? Why are you talking red pill stuff on dates? Like, what is going on with y'all? What, like, where is there's no lead, like thinking for yourself, you know, or there's no game. There's no game. I mean, there's dudes on dates talking about, yeah, I don't believe a woman should do this. Nah, a man need to do this. So it's just like, what? You know what I'm saying? It just doesn't, it's just these dudes. See, the thing is, and my boy said it perfectly, right? Understand, the thing is, when it comes to red pill, understand women, female nature, understand how they move. Yeah, that's good to understand the world, but that's not something that you just say and say it out loud and talk about it, right? As a man, you got to move accordingly. You got to move strategically. You got to be intentional. You got to be purpose driven. You got to do all those different things that was going to attract a woman. But you saying, yeah, I believe, you know, Myron Gaines is correct. You know, what he's saying, Myron said this one time and it's true. You know, it's just, there's guys that do this, Derek. Like,
I you know, I go to a barbershop, right? So I listen to this nonsense, these nonsensical conversations all the time. So this is actually my cousin.
Okay.
This is Dion. He's logged in. We went through a whole long segment of what red pill is, but can you give him a short version of what red pill is, please?
Yeah, Dion. So essentially, red pill is awareness of the world, understanding how the world really works. That's really what it is. It's the reality of life.
Yeah, so just like in the movie The Matrix, it's like, do you want to take the red pill? You want to take the blue pill? Red pill, the blue pill brings you back into what people have told you it is, and then the red pill gives you a whole new awareness that's not, it's the uncomfortable truth. And so when it comes to dating and men in the manosphere, red pill is where men have realized you just understand female nature. That's really what to make it very, very simple.
He's stupid.
And then Shantae's confused with all these colors. She's like, what is purple pill? So yeah, Shantae, we might have to do a whole show on the definition of all these pills and the male archetypes with alpha, beta, gamma, delta, epsilon, zeta, eta, theta, iota, phi, nu. You know, I know the Greek alphabet, so I can just go through the whole, you know, now it's not alpha and beta. So many darn Greek archetypes of men. That's a whole nother show. But purple pill, to answer your question simply, is men that believe in relationships and want relationships, but they're just not going to sign a contract. That's the short version of it.
I would say, to be keep it 1,000, I will put myself in the purple pill category. I don't think I'm 100%. I would say I'm in purple pill, because I definitely understand the realities of what's going on. I'm very, very aware, but I definitely want, I definitely want a relationship. You know what I mean? Eventually, not right now, but
I'm fine with. Yeah, I'm fine with. I have no beef with relationships. It just has to be in a certain order. It's just as simple as that.
Exactly.
Not just that she ain't taking no pill. That is hilarious.
Yeah. No,
when women know female nature, they'll hate you for it. But when you pretend like you don't know, you act on they're more attracted to. Yeah,
he's right.
If you know female nature, you don't have to say it. Just like when you're rich, you don't have to tell people you're rich. Like if you know how females operate or women operate, because I know females hate when I say females. So if you know how women are and you
act accordingly, exactly.
You don't have to announce it. That's the thing. Dudes have diarrhea of the mouth. You always got something to say.
Yeah, bro. I was on a date and I asked her, whether she wanted to do 50-50 or 100%. No, this dude that had these conversations.
No, stop playing with me. Don't play with me.
I'm telling you, there. I'm telling you, dude. I had like a couple of my people friends. They'll tell me like some of the conversations that these guys would have. They're like, yeah, he's talking about 50-50, 100-100. I said, people do that?
Yes. I hear people talk about like, listen. I'm not even going there. That's another live. I guess we're gonna have to bring up the 50-50 conversation again because I have some clips for that, but I didn't want to. This live would be 4 hours if I went through that tonight. Yeah. My man said that he thinks purple pill is a mix. I mean, yeah, if you mix blue and purple, blue and red, the color that does make purple. So you are exactly correct.
That's
what purple means. Blue. If you mix the colors blue and red, that is what makes purple.
Purple, right?
That makes perfect sense. All right, another one here.
Ooh, these topics bringing people out.
I know this. These folks on fire over here about this.
Woo!
All right, so this is a really big one. There's so many people. I'm not going to go through all of them, but there's so many people that stitched this one. Basically, she's asking women, what happened to your relationship when your partner got into red pill content? Oh, shit. This is about to be spicy.
For all the women who lost their male partners to red pill content, front and center, please, because I want to know what happened. I want to know how he started off when y'all got together and how red pill content changed him and how the partnership ended. What did that look like? And I also want to know, how did it feel to lose somebody you thought you knew to something as trivial and shallow as red pill content?
All right, hold on. I gotta do a couple more because that's the main. So we're gonna go through a couple of the stitches with the same content because these women got some serious stories out here.
I'm curious to see this.
Oh, don't worry. I will satisfy your curiosity. Pause.
To red pill content. Front and center, please.
Sorry about the volume.
Hey, yes. She is me and I am she. I've dated a red pill podcast guy. And when I tell you, it damn near destroyed me. It is a disastrous thing in our community, and we really need to talk about it. Dating a guy in the beginning, it was nice. He was sweet. He was kind. He was generous, everything like that. But then he started to become aggressive, and that concerned me because he wasn't physically aggressive, but he was verbally aggressive. The tones that he used with me would actually scare me. And I told him, I laid it out like, I've never been talked to aggressively by a man. I've never been in an abusive relationship. My daddy never even talked to me aggressively. So I'm not going to accept that. And he changed for a little bit. But then he started watching those podcasts, which he then told me that he was watching. I suggested that he stop watching a podcast, delete, curate his own social media, stop watching a podcast and get therapy, because what he would say things like, you got to be aggressive towards women. That's the only way that they going to respect you. And I'm like, no, like I met you and you were kind and sweet as pie. Aggressiveness is scary for a woman, especially a big man using a negative tone towards a woman. That's terrifying. And he told me I was, I got to delete all these red pill podcasts. He's like, I didn't even know what it was. I thought it was just guys talking. I said, it's different types of podcasts. If they're not uplifting you, if they're telling you nothing but negativity, they're putting poison in your mind. If everything you see and hear is negativity, that's what you're going to see and feel. Negativity. You have to curate what you see in your life, especially being an older person. You need to know better. So I gave him 2 chances, and both chances he failed. And his thing also about dating an attractive woman. When we go out, I put myself on. I look good. I'm beautiful. I'm very charismatic, and that was what he loved about me. But watching the Red Pill podcast, his thing, he would make these weird statements about, oh, I know these men trying to talk to you and blah 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 blah. I know you be going out on dates and blah 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 blah. I'm working 3 hours away from home. And then he would say things like, oh, I know you probably messing with a dude down there, a woman as attractive as you. I know, like, these Red Pill podcasts would literally poison him and make him think that I'm a woman that I was not. Okay, ladies, if your men are watching a Red Pill podcast, break up with them. They need therapy. That's poison. They are experiencing traumatic events on a daily basis, and they don't even know. They're feeding their minds with poison, and they don't even know. Dealing with a man who watches Red Pill podcasts or even participated in that type of stuff is terrifying, is dangerous, and the relationship, when I tell you, it will age you. It will age you mentally. It will age you physically. It will stress you out, and it is not worth it. Leave that man alone. Okay. Oh, and then he lied and said he was going to therapy, chat. Just leave him alone, chat. Just leave him alone. Y'all have a good day.
Damn.
Well, he's obviously
damn.
You can tell he's the type of dude. I mean,
you already you listen. We know this dude. We know who he is.
I learned. Myron Gates said this. And
on Fresh and Fit.
Yeah, so when he yelling at girls, I got to do that too.
She got a job, so she got a work husband.
Yeah.
And it's not that it's wrong, but I think in her case, she's like, it's probably the problem with a lot of red pills that they put a blanket over all women, right? So because nothing is all of anything. All men are not this, all women are not this. In general, yes, stereotypes and generalities are there for a reason, because more times than not, that is the case. However, if you have a person, then maybe not. The guy was just insecure, and my man just said, he's like, yeah, the guy was super insecure, talking about saying, yeah, you down there going on dates and this, that, and the other. If you're in a relationship, if you that worried about going on a date, you do one of two things. You do like Xavier Worthy did and hire a private investigator, but probably too dusty for that. Or you break up with her. Because what I'm not going to do is be sitting there worrying about if you going out with somebody.
Absolutely not. That's where you lose as a man. That's where you lost.
Lost. And because she probably like, well, he keeps accusing me of going out with somebody. I might as well go out with somebody. And, she's working away from home, 3 hours. She probably some type of travel nurse or something like that. Whatever it is she does, And the other reason that men and women are very accusatory of their mate is usually because they're doing something. Most of the time. Not some of the time, not half of the time. Most of the time, they are the person that's doing the cheating. The people that's accusing are usually, just like passing gas. The person that smelt it dealt it.
Yeah.
Same thing. All right, got another one. She reacts to her man that she was in a relationship with after he took the red pill.
Where are all the women who lost their male partners to red pill content? Because I want to know what happened.
Yeah, I'm right here. I lost one of the loves of my life. One of my best friends, had known him over 20 years, since before we were born, to red pill content, and I want to talk about it today. I do think it's important to educate people and keep them aware of this. It was like a 5-10 year long process to strap in, and I think one of the hardest parts wasn't accepting losing him, but having to accept that this person, these ideologies were inside him the whole time. So his name was Jared. We grew up on streets near each other, and our families knew each other before we were born because we were all homeschooled. So obviously when we were little, I had a big old crush on him because he was the only boy my age I had ever spoken to, but he had no interest in me because he was a little kid. So for a lot of the middle years, he goes back into school. We don't talk. He's in the grade above me. But once we get into high school, we actually reconnect somehow. And I forget how, but I'm a total nerd in high school and he is like a hockey jock. But he was always a really sweet kid. So for a while, I believed him when he swore his hockey friends must have stolen his phone in the locker room and sent this message to me on Snapchat that said, "Why don't you make yourself useful and send over a pic?" And when I was like, this is really random, like this doesn't seem like even your verbiage, what's going on, dude? They blocked me on everything on his phone. So we didn't talk for several years after that. And I found it a little bit weird that like, dude, we were talking every single day and you didn't even think to look me up and notice I wasn't even in your phone anymore. But anyways, he gets dumped by a girl who absolutely shatters his heart on college, and we actually reconnect because we match on Tinder. And at this point, he is emo, right? He has all the bracelets. He listens to heavy metal. He is very atheist. He has a lot of Satan stars and whatnot. He is the furthest point in the universe from the typical red pill boy. So when he's back in town, we actually go on some dates and he gets really sick. So I bring him over some soup and like some cookies that my grandma, who I was living with at the time, homemade. And we have some really cute, like cuddling, watching TV, nothing else sort of dates. And it was just like old times. And then after that, he actually kind of rejects me by ghosting me a little bit, but he wants to remain friends. And I'm fine with that because we were friends our whole life. And the more I get to know about him in that point, the more I realize it's probably for the best because he's in a lot of therapy at that point, which is very important because he has such bad anxiety and depression and things like that, that he can't even leave his home to go out in public. And also he's still obsessed with this girl who has blocked him on everything and he won't tell me why. But one day he says he found her address and he wants to write her a letter because he thinks it'll be super duper romantic and win her back. He had this tendency to do that, right? Like romanticize all of his actions when from the outside, like this girl has blocked you on everything. She has told you not to contact her and now you're tracking down her address. And I tried to explain to him that that's kind of terrifying behavior, but I don't think he listened to me. I do think he sent the letter and I don't think anything ever came of it. But at this point, he decides he needs to completely change his life. I think his therapist suggested getting into working out, which is the beginning of the slippery slope. So again, he's still in college, living mostly in his parents' basement. He's spending thousands of dollars now on gym equipment and getting really into working out. And watching like male motivational videos, to which I believe around this time too, he decides that he doesn't need to go to therapy anymore. And I was like, no, you still can't really leave your home, dude. And you have a lot of issues. Like you definitely are not done with that. But again, he thinks that after like a short period of time, he's just completed therapy. And around this time, a couple of his friends ask how we reconnected too, because it's a question to ask. And I jokingly am like, well, we went on a couple dates and Jared rejected me. And he insists that never happened. Like he refuses to, like he denies it to his core that he ever rejected me. I was like, it's fine. It's funny and I'm fine with it. But anyways, we're seeing other people. We're just friends. And around this time is when I met Basement Eric, the one who SA'd me and tried to kidnap me and keep me locked in his basement, right? So that causes a lot of damage. And my brain doesn't trust me to be around boys anymore. So eventually I have to explain to Jared like why I'm always sitting on the opposite side of the room or not really seeing him anymore. And he decides again in his brain, which he has made himself out to be a good person in the scenario and coming from a good place, that he can fix me actually. Because you just didn't get hugged enough as a child and you aren't shown the proper amount of affection. So he starts forcing me to like cuddle with him and hug him even.
Hold on. I just got to stop right quick. You can't fix people. Stop trying to fix.
When I tell him no and to stop. And from all the working out, he's becoming a very large man that I can't fight anymore. And so it's starting to get scary when he doesn't
Fight anymore? How?
listen to me. And he also starts making this frequent joke that we need to go out on like formal friend dates because like I just deserve to be loved and shown love, which again, I believe came from a good place. But I was like, no, like I've been on real.
Oh, friend dates. Remember those?
Oh, Lord.
Friend dates.
Like I've been on fine dates. It's fine. I've been on a good date
Let's
before.
skip ahead
We're
a little
allowed
bit.
to meet her. No matter how many times I begged and asked. And also every time he got a girlfriend, of course, she was blonde, my height. And he kind of stopped talking to me when he was dating them. Or at least he stopped forcing me to cuddle him all the time, which was a win for me. Also, the cuddling stuff started again shortly after I started hanging out with him more, but I was able to deal with it then because time had passed. He'd also slowly started using like alpha male, beta male lingo. Like he's hanging out with his gym friends 24/7. They have daily fitness, eating, they have everything mapped out on an Excel spreadsheet. They're constantly on the grind. He's he's leaning into alpha, beta, all that terminology. I'm starting to get increasingly worried. And then he gets a new girlfriend. And this girlfriend is super religious, super conservative, right? And all of a sudden, out of the blue, Jared suddenly is talking about being religious and going to church. He's going and playing tennis and doing all these things that I've never heard of him doing before. And he's starting to say some of the concerning things he would just let slip when he was one-on-one with me out loud now. I remember our very last FaceTime. He FaceTimed me after he was playing tennis with his girlfriend. I was talking about a date I had gone on, but we didn't really click. And he starts going like, you need a beta male because you have like an alpha energy. See, I'm an alpha male, so I need like a beta housewife. It's like, I'm just stunned by everything that's coming out of his mouth all of a sudden. And then at some point, I kind of must have made the comment that I was like a little bit concerned about all the conservatives and the things he's been hanging around for him to say this. And he utters the phrase, well, technically, like, voting conservative is the most alpha male thing you can do, right? Because, like, you're voting to suppress minorities and women. You're maintaining your seat at the top. And in that singular moment, all hope in my body left, and I disconnected from the conversation entirely.
Okay.
I want to say something.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
Why was she even still dealing with this guy after seeing so many different signs? She's an idiot for even dealing with
You
him.
already know the answer to that question because
They like chaos. She's like, well, I was just here because time passed by. What dumb excuse, man. Get out of here.
Because she wanted what she wanted. She wanted a guy that, you know, that was the rough around the edges, bad boy guys. He was atheist. He was right. Like, listen to all the terms.
He went to
a degenerate. He was a degenerate. Please show all the pill colors so I could take notes. I'm gonna have to make a chart for you, Shante.
Yeah, Shante cares about the pills.
Yeah, we gonna make a chart. We gonna make a whole chart. This video is why you hear red pills talk about dating women a certain age, by 30. They all want some type of trauma, which complicates the relationships.
Yeah.
No man are perfect, but it's outside. It's something to consider while dating. Hearing these girls talk about these guys are cornballs. Yes, they are. And then you could tell these guys are red pills saying all these terms. Yeah, they regurgitate the same thing.
Oh, I just became real. Oh my gosh. Alpha male.
Oh Lord.
The women who lost their male partners to red pill content. Front and center, please.
I wouldn't say I lost him because I know exactly where he went. When all of that stuff started coming out, and also when Trump won the election and got more popular, but on a different stage this time, it was like the man who I had initially gotten together with and married, suddenly he was allowed to say the quiet parts that he'd been thinking the whole time out loud. All that stuff normalized being crazy, being misogynistic, being awful, because it was so popular as well. A lot of men, my ex-husband included, started to think that it was okay. So we're divorced now.
Now, I would love to hear his version of what happened, because it sounds like he picked up his sack and she had it the whole time, and he started listening. You know, he started becoming empowered and actually took a stand, because I have a feeling that he was probably some beta male provider that was, you know, had a honeydew list and subscribed to Happy Wife, Happy Life. And then all of a sudden he started consuming that content and was like, wait a minute, you know, I don't have to use my pronouns around her. I can actually say, you know, it's okay to say what I actually think instead of having this feminized point of view. And so they started clashing. That's what I think happened. I could be wrong. I don't know.
I believe so as well, man. I mean, this tends to happen to a lot of guys who don't even realize, oh, shucks, she's controlling. She dominates the relationship. Oh my God, she tells me what to do. She bosses me around. And certain guys wake up, and that's why some of these women are probably complaining, because the thing is, it's not about alpha, beta, whatever. relationships. We know the chain of commands, right? This is in the Bible, right? In the Bible.
But that's not what a lot of people don't want to read that part of the Bible. They forget about that.
No, yeah, of course they want to get that's why I hate when people want to get religious, because
it's religious by convenience.
Bingo. I love that phrase. I love it. You know, but yeah, it's just, you know, you got the corny guys and you guys got some guys that grew some balls and, you know, started to develop some self-awareness. So there's two different guys when it comes to this sector, right?
Right.
The guys who had those quote unquote blue pill ideologies and woke up and realized, what am I doing? You know, got out, you know, switched up or whatever.
Right.
Then you have the other ones, the corny guys were like, I'm gonna listen. Myra Gaines is my God, and you know, I'm gonna watch Red Pill, and I'm an alpha male, and hear me roar. Like, so those are two different type of guys when it comes to these sectors. And I always tell guys, you know, pick and choose what you learn, right? But as long as you are functional, you're an effective leader, you're on your purpose and you're doing what you're supposed to be doing, she's gonna follow regardless. You know what I mean? If you're really that dude.
All right, I got one more thing. I just pulled it up real quick.
Okay.
And this is specifically for Shantae.
There you go.
Oops. Let's see. The pills kind of explained. It's not the red pill. The system is broken. We need a radical and political solutions. Basically, in relationship terms, red pill is the way that we have been taught is wrong, and we need to go back to where things were correct. That's kind of the view of red pill. And the blue, everything is fine. So feminism, men, you know, 50-50, everything is equal. Everyone has, you know, a part, all this other kumbaya. That's the blue pill, just business as usual. Keep your head down.
Keep your head down.
Keep your head down, go to work, listen to your boss, pay your taxes, pet your dog, retire, watch TV and go to bed and retire.
Hey, your face is like, your whole face is like, yeah.
I mean, but that's what you're taught, you know, go to school, get an education. I mean, that's the blue pill. No, I'm dead serious.
Yeah.
Go to school, get an education, get a job, get married, have kids, retire, you know, come home from your job that you hate, watch TV, go to work, do it all over again, live for the weekends, retire, get old and not functional, get sick and because you're eating a bunch of shit and then you die.
Yeah.
That's the blue pill. Just do it that way.
Yeah.
The purple pill is the system problems that can be fixed via by just making some changes. So, all right. Yes, I want to be with a woman. Yes, I want kids, but the way that the family law court is set up, actually having a contract in the United States in marriage is not smart. That's kind of a purple pill. Black pill is the system cannot be fixed. Revolution, race, war, and violence are the only cure. In other words, we are going to stay to ourselves and, you know, I'm going my own way. I don't even deal with women. When I see women, I look down, which what really happens is when the women see her, she just don't ignores him. He's the invisible guy that many men are in this day and age. So that is your breakdown, Shantae. The best way I can explain it.
That was a good source for Shantae. Yeah.
Yeah. Unless you got something different. That's my
that's what it is. I mean, that's pretty much what it is. And to add on with the blue pill, you know, I believe that, you know, they're all great. You know, all women are perfect human beings. They can never do no wrong.
Sugar, spice, and anything not sugar and spice and everything nice. That's an old nursery rhyme back in the day that when you were small kids, they taught you. And then boys were, was it tails, snails, and puppy dog tails?
Oh, yeah.
That's boys, but then women are sugar, spice, and everything nice. So you taught as a small child that men are trash and women are perfect. So you're already brought into the world as a small child. One of the first things that you learn in an old nursery rhyme. So that's what blue pill is subscribing to
Boys
that.
are losers. Boys are boys are
Oh, yeah.
losers.
Oh yeah, I mean, and so it's just now, like I said, it's more of men empowerment. So you have it, but it's such a fine line between red pill, black pill, men empowerment. You know, blue pill is the one that nobody really likes.
Ooh, okay.
Like
Damn.
those are the men that actually those are the men that just only have friends like them, because men don't respect them and don't like them.
Pronouns and
Happy wife, happy life. I gotta, I can't do this because let me ask my wife first.
Please, Derek, don't. I get so angry hearing that.
I don't at all. Like, God bless you, brother. It's okay. God bless you.
I think one time I called somebody out on it because I was so frustrated seeing it. That's why I can't.
I don't do it at all. I remember one time I was out. We were out. Me and my friends were out somewhere, and then I was sitting. No, it wasn't my friends. It was friends of friends. And I text you like, I cannot believe what this dude said. Remember, I text you the exact phrase of that kind of nonsense. And how
Were you in Chicago?
No, I was here.
Was it an alpha gathering or something?
No, it was another. But it was some friends that were in town. But
okay,
I ain't gonna even get into it because I don't want to. I don't want to dox.
Right.
So yeah, it was a whole mess. But yeah, I was sitting there listening to him like, whew, you are not the same person I knew 20 years ago. Lord knows.
Oh my gosh. Pronouns, man bonds, tofu burgers, and Starbucks.
Soy boys. And look, people gonna talk about me with my electric car, but guess what? I have an electric car and a muscle car, so I got both. So I don't know. Maybe that makes me purple because I'm in the middle. I got a blue car, I got a blue pill car and a red pill car.
Oh Lord.
Men hate, like, if you are in the if you're into cars and stuff with men, if you're talked about really bad if you have an electric car, because they're like, oh, that's kind of like the soy boy car. If you have an electric car, burning gas and having even if you got a Kia, it's funny, they'll respect you more in the Kia than a Tesla. It's hilarious to me.
It's
but
crazy. It's crazy. Yeah, man. I mean, it's this conversation can go in many different directions, but
it already has.
Right. Yeah. It's crazy because when I see guys, like, I talk to certain guys and you know that they have blue pill ideologies, I kind of just like, I cringe internally and I just try my absolute best, utilize my emotional intelligence and not really sick. Because I know me, I'm very intolerant with certain shit, and that stuff just makes me cringe so hard.
I don't. I had a brief talking stage with a woke feminist model, loud, masculine, ghetto. She hated RP dudes. I hated feminist chicks. We both dropped an ideology. It worked pretty okay for a little bit. Listen, I got a couple of them, but again, that's a turn and burn. Put your head through the mattress and get out. That's all I can do for you. Because I can't take you seriously with that type of thing. But listen, a lot of times you're not going to find a person that's completely congruent with your ideology anyway.
Mm-hmm. I would say just essentially just find somebody who truly respects you and then honors you, and that's really what it is. But with women with certain ideologies, for me, there's
they in a certain category. It's like, listen, we cool, but this is the road that you can go down, and this is where it ends. It doesn't go any further than this road because you're strong on your side, I'm strong on mine. Nothing I'm gonna say is going to change how you feel. And the same thing with me. Not like whatever you tell me, I'm not gonna change either. I only change with new information.
Yep.
So
yeah. Turn and burn. Shantae, no, stay away from black pill, Shantae. She's black pill, black pill.
Okay. Yeah, look, you might come up messing around with some black pill dudes. you might be Them kind of dudes keep trash bags with them. You never know when you have to drop somebody off. you don't want to mess with no. I'm just telling you. I'm telling you, those are the dudes you do not want to deal with.
Oh man, those black pill dudes are the weirdest dudes ever,
Man,
bro.
stay away.
Oh Lord, they're in the basement, angry, just looking at content all day. Oh, look at her. Oh man, just
those are the dudes that will sit there and play the knockout game like they used to do back in the day, just walking down the street, knock folks out. You don't. I'm telling you, you don't want all that.
Yeah, Shante, stay away from the black pill dudes, man. Stay away from black.
Oh, you
pill.
found our own OnlyFans. Lord have mercy. Oh, we're gonna have to do a whole show on.
Oh, please, I can't wait.
Hidden identity. No, but on hidden identities, because this is the last story of the day. Years ago, one of my fraternity brothers was going to get married. I told you the story.
Mm-hmm.
He was going to get married, and he was really into this girl. And then one of our other frat brothers was like, "Yo, I seen your girl on this website."
Mm-hmm.
In this website, this was actually before OF came out. It basically was a website of women giving services. You know what I'm saying? 304 services. And basically what happened is he set her up. He was like, all right, we're gonna rent a room, and I'm gonna call her over. And he basically hid in the closet. And then when she came through at the door, to pay her for a certain amount, a certain act, she came in, they exchanged pleasantries, and then my man came out and was like, "Oh, I thought you were a night auditor at the Marriott." And the only night auditing she was doing, she was auditing on some P9. So these are the things you find. There's a lot of people, but now instead of doing it that way, they're just on OF.
Yeah, I know somebody who,
Yeah, they pulled the cheaters on it. Yep, sure did. The only thing, it wasn't no camera. That's the only difference.
Dude, I know a couple of women who I saw at the strip club that have very profound roles in life.
Oh, I mean, listen, I went to, when I was in college, it was a thing that the women would drive to Atlanta, which was a few hours away, to strip on the weekends.
Wow.
So they wouldn't be known in the town. And again, not to dox myself, in the town that was several hours away, but they would drive to Atlanta on the weekend and make all their money, because we'd be coming back like, man, how she got on, I went to school when you went to HBCU, we were poor. Everybody was poor. Wasn't nobody driving. It was maybe one or two people driving like luxury cars. Everybody was driving like, regular Chevys and Fords and Chryslers. Wasn't nobody driving and Hondas and Toyotas. Wasn't nobody driving BMWs and Audis and all that stuff. Mm-hmm. So, and you wonder why, like, man, it wasn't a refund check, because refund check used to be like tax returns back in the day. And, those girls would go out on the weekend and strip. And then some of these guys would be like, oh, man, I really want to see you over the weekend, but the girls be in Atlanta on the weekend clapping it up, because if they're in Atlanta all weekend, not only are they dancing in the club, they probably doing something a little extra too. So that tuition, putting a pretty girl through college, as Yeezy would say. So that is the end of tonight's show. We went through a whole lot of stuff. It went a little longer than I planned, but we had a lot of content to cover. So what are your last and final thoughts on tonight's topics?
Fellas, focus on being the best version of you. And that's all I have to say.
Oh, that's simple.
Yeah.
Stay away on the first segment. Stay out of toxic relationships, please. If there's any signs of toxicity, walk away. And unfortunately, young men, especially young men in general, but especially young men, don't have the confidence or the power within themselves to walk away, because they believe that that's all they can get, and everyone can be replaced, including me. That's so right. That ends tonight's show. If you have watched us, please hit that like button. Everyone that gave that super chat, shout out to you. And if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe to my channel, D-Lens Reacts, and also Jay the Professor's YouTube channel. We will be doing lives on Tuesdays now. We have shifted from Wednesday. And I'm actually going to add another show. I'm not sure if it's going to be Saturday or Sunday yet, but I'm thinking Saturday or Sunday afternoon just to add a little bit more content like this instead of just crazy reaction videos. So thanks again, everyone, for watching, and I will see you in the next video.